Good morning everybody and welcome to this presentation. This is Father Marcus Romney, Costa Blanca Anglican Chaplaincy. Delighted to spend a little bit more time with you today and really looking forward to the fact that tomorrow, July the 5th, 2020, we're opening many of our churches and we can get back to a pattern of worship, coming together, keeping social distance and safe practice, but gathering in churches, and can't wait for that. Do need to say that health and well-being of our members is most important, so if you'd like to come, you'll be very welcome, but there is no pressure for people to turn up at church just because we're open. If you're not feeling great, if you're nervous, if you're confused about it, if you're unsure, then stay at home. We will be continuing these video presentations and online services and email letters out to people, so we'll carry on with this for as long as we can, but it is going to be great to get back into church. And tomorrow when we get back in church, the service is going to be straightforward and relatively short, but we're going to have some fantastic readings. Of course we follow the lectionary, and the reading from Paul's letter to the Romans begins with Paul sort of wrestling with himself. He says, I don't understand my own actions. I don't do what I want to do, and I do what I don't want to do. And we've all been there, haven't we? We've absolutely all been there, doing the stuff that we don't want to do or know that we shouldn't do, and not doing what we know is right. We've all been there time and time and time again, and sometimes it's a conscious rebellion against the things that we've been told. Sometimes it's just the enthusiasm of youth that just sticks with us right through to our old age. Sometimes it's to do with peer pressure and going along with a crowd. Sometimes it's to do with trying to combat some sort of injustice and going beyond where we thought we were going to go. Sometimes it's just doing it because we like it. Sometimes it's, we like the sins that we do because that's why we do them. Maybe it could be to do with habit. Maybe it could do with addiction. Maybe it's to do with our ego and that thing within us that deceives us constantly, that tells us that we're at the centre of the universe and that we've got to do this in order to feed ourselves, feed our egos. And our ego deceives us. It may be any or all of those things. Paul describes it as the sin which is within us. Maybe that's not the word that we use so readily to describe it these days, but it's, we know what he's getting at. But elsewhere in Romans, Paul teaches us what sin is, and sin very clearly is just not taking God seriously, not taking Jesus seriously. And that the consequence of that is that we fall short, we stumble, we miss the target. And that's what sin is. We make a great big deal of it, and we beat ourselves up about it. But we've just got to get a few things right, and then we'll sail through it. Just to recap, it's not taking God seriously, and what we're called to do is to do that. Jesus, in his message that we would read, that we will read in church tomorrow, coming from Matthew's Gospel, is Jesus saying, we can't get it right, can we? Whatever we do, sometimes people criticise us. John came not eating and drinking. People said that he had a demon in him. Jesus came eating and drinking, and people said he was a glutton and a drunkard. Neither of those things are true, because people, sometimes whatever it is that you do, they're just going to have a go at you, just get at you, just try and knock you down, just try and challenge you. Not for any deep reason, just that they're challenged by who you are or what you say or what you believe in or what you do. And the best way to protect yourself against things that are going to challenge you is to knock them. And Jesus' message is beautiful, but it is challenging. And so we put the two readings together, doing stuff that we don't want to do, not doing stuff that we do want to do, and whatever we do, we can't win as far as other people are concerned. And it can get us down. We can think, what is the point? Where do I go from here? How do I manage it? How do I How do I live a life that's worth doing if I don't do what I want to do, and if people are going to get on my back, whatever it is I do? And all of it is to do with understanding our ego. You know, we are not here just to please other people. We're not here just to make ourselves popular. We're not just here to seek approval. We're not just here to gather things for ourselves and build up treasure on earth. Those things are not what we're about. I believe we're here so that we can discover that we are loved, so that we can discover that we are valued, so that we can discover that real joy comes from looking out for other people and caring for other people, and through service and through care and through expressing that love that we've been on the receiving end of. Jesus finishes his passage beautifully. He says, this is a deal. The ways of the world weigh heavy on us. And when we try to follow the ways of the world, we end up burdened by it all. And when we try and follow ourself too much, our ego, we're burdened by that. And when we try just to keep other people happy, we come unstuck. And Jesus says all of this just gets to us and gets us down. And Jesus says, no, come to me. Come and rest in me. Come and accept me. Come to me, all you that are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And what he means by that is that the teaching of Jesus might sound complicated, but in fact it's really simple. And if we put it into practice, then we'll find peace in our souls. We'll find rest for our souls. We'll find a completeness and a joy. And in my article that I wrote yesterday, it was about the fruit of the Spirit, which is self-control. And we wrestle with that. We fight with it all the time. Don't press the red button. 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 Press the red button, and we press it, and we're there. We've done it. We're not great at self-control, but if we rest in Jesus and if we live in the Spirit, one of the fruits will be that we end up doing what we want to do. Not like we began doing the stuff that we don't want to do. There is joy to be had in following the teaching of Jesus. There is bliss to be found in embracing the message of the Gospels. There is excitement and challenge and adventure in living a life of faith. And there is unbounding love that is freely given to us, that it's our privilege and our joy to accept. I can't wait to get back in church tomorrow and unpack those readings in front of a live audience. It's lovely, a live audience, listen to me, a congregation. It's lovely doing this into a camera and having you guys looking and taking part, but it's so much more real doing it in real life. So I'm going to do this again tomorrow, Carpe Church at 10:30, and we'll carry on with these videos, we'll carry on with the letters, we'll carry on with the live stream services, we'll carry on looking out for one another, we're carrying on with our prayers, we're carrying on with everything, but we're adding to it live services from tomorrow. So I'm going to see you soon. And until then, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, and stay safe.